Or any glasses?
Soon, yep.
All right. They're warm. Let me give you some ice. You want the whole bottle or just?
I don't even want the whole bottle. I'm just.
I was here first. You want me to hear it too? Can you get in there?
Nothing. Thank you.
He's the one asking everybody.
Jesus. All right, I'm going out. Right. Right, wait a minute. I'm going all the way
Big
out.
day for you. It's a big day for you. You're like the ones in the car. Thanks.
All right, you can move in. Now we all have our. Did you bring me an extra cutout? No. I asked you to bring me stuff.
What can I get?
I don't know.
No, that's yours.
No, actually, you know what? I'll do a glasses to Bell.
I take a bite.
So what?
Who did?
Have some sangria You want some?
Yeah.
I'll have a glass of that too.
Now, were you a tender?
All right, I'm ready.
It's coming out right now. In Europe.
Y'all keep it going for our hostess here, you guys. Woo! Good evening, everybody. Oh my gosh, thank you all for coming out this evening. Happy holidays. And shout outs to each and every one of you guys for staying awoke. I don't know about you guys, but everybody seems to be lovely, you know, over the lovely age of 35. And listen, the new 10 is actually 6 o'clock for us. I don't know what you guys, but I needed a nap before I got here. And it's like nowadays, the best dates are canceled dates. I am like the person that's waiting on the phone calls and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to make it this week. I'm like, thank you so much. You just don't know how many things I found in my home to actually really be a part of. So I'm enjoying my home. And shout out to all the beautiful women in the building, us ladies. Man, we have it so bad, don't we?
I don't care if it's more.
We do, as much
Better for
as
digestion.
everyone expects us to keep that S on our chest, and we gotta keep up with the housework, the work, our husbands, the families, and it's just like, we just never get a break. And we, as women, have to do a lot to look good. You know, that's messed up. The men just get to wake up and go about their day. They don't have that trouble in the morning. We have to worry about what shoe match, what outfit. Like, we just can't wake up and be fabulous in the morning. You know what, ladies? That's it. You guys can all take off from the gym for the next 2 months. Don't even worry about it. Guts are back in.
Good.
We're not worried about all this workout stuff. All this stuff that's exhausting us before we even get back home by the end of the day. And shout out to all the people in the building with children that are about 20-ish with no job. Yeah, we got to do better with encouraging them. I do have a 20-year-old. He just turned 20. I'm like, you don't want to do anything other than leave my house? You don't have any desires? Can I find you a girlfriend? I'll go on a date with you. It's so bad, I'm like taking calls for him. I'm calling jobs for him. I'm like, yeah, are you interested in a kid that's about 20? He graduated. He can work. I'm not quite sure what he's good at yet, but he will come to work if I give him a ride. Then I gotta pick him up. I got pulled over the other day. I didn't realize that my car was unregistered. So the officer pulled me over. He said, ma'am, license and registration. I said, sir, I got license and insurance for you. He said, ma'am, I need the registration. I said, sir, I only have insurance. He said, well, ma'am, you can't keep riding around town off insurance. I said, well, sir, if somebody hit me, the registration's not going to pay me now, is it? He said, ma'am, you're cute, not funny. He said, ma'am, now I got to do one thing. I'm going to remove these plates off your car. I said, well, sir, how am I going to get home? He said, ma'am, that's not my problem. I said, all right, no problem, sir. I said, you want me to help you? He said, no, stay in the car. I said, okay. So he removed the front plate and the back plate. He said, now, I'm going to let you leave up out of here. But you are not to leave until you no longer see my tail lights. I said, cool. So I can leave, but I got to wait until I no longer see your tail lights, right? He said, exactly. So I did exactly that. I waited till he pulled off, and I no longer seen his tail lights. And I went right back in the car and got 2 more plates. And put them back on my car. We got the holidays coming up. And I'm going to tell these kids right now, they are PlayStation 4 out, PlayStation 5 out, all these cool gadgets. There's nothing else these kids can get. So I'm really thinking about just getting a bunch of ribbons this year. And I'm going to put one on my stove, one on the light switch. I'm going to put 5 on the refrigerator, because that's what they use the most. All the food in the refrigerator. These kids are different. And I don't know, but when I go, we got to make sure we got insurance policies and make sure they are hefty ones, you guys. Because I know when I go, I want to bury me with all my stuff, like on a yacht with nobody else. Nobody even getting nothing. The receipts I got on these kids, when I go, they better not even look for nothing. They better enjoy me while I'm still here. Because I don't want to share no more happiness with nobody when it's my time to go. And people don't realize how important these life insurance policies are. And it's not to scare you, but you got to make sure that everything's in order. Because when you leave, you don't want everybody down here on earth fighting. Because you're going to be in heaven listening to that, depending on what kids you leave down. So if your kids is loud, you're going to hear them in heaven. And you don't know what you do on earth follows you when you get to the pearly white gates. And you got to be mindful of what you do while you're still living. Because you hate to be the person in line in heaven and the lady that's ready to register you to come on in the gates got to read off all the bad stuff you do. And then you got the people in the back listening to all your business. They'll be like, oh no. You were the lady that rang up grapes when you brought watermelon and stuff. We don't trust you in heaven. So they deny you. And then it's your turn. And she go, you're the lady that said that the tooth fairy wasn't real. Because you didn't have any money to pay the kid. We could probably use you in the back at gatekeeping. Listen, y'all, that's my time. We know that we got another comment coming up. I thank y'all for having me. Mo Green, thank you for having me. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm A+ Hollywood. Coming to the stage right now is y'all man of the hour, Mr. Maurice Green, y'all. Woo!
Thank you very much. Give it up for the lovely A+ Hollywood. Clap it up for her. We're here. This crowd looks familiar. It's very diverse. And by diversity, I mean you. Y'all are like extras from Cheers. Making a way in the world today takes everything you got. You know how when you don't know the lyrics, so you mumble? Wouldn't you like to get away? Help me out. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Boom, 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 boom. And you're always glad you came. Boom, boom. You want to be where people can see. You want to go where everybody goes insane. And for my brother right here, I gotta, I didn't mean to alienate you, so I gotta hit you with it. Temporary layoff. Easy credit rip-off. Good time. Scratching on the table. Banging in the china. Ain't we lucky we got 'em. Y'all know this song. Good time. Yeah. And that's how we get the show started, man. That's how we get the show. A lot of beautiful individuals in this room. Clap it up for yourselves for being so gorgeous. Clap it up for yourselves. But it's unfortunate, though, the older that we get, our looks start to fade. None of us looks the same that we looked 15, 20 years ago. You was like a thought in the universe. None of us looks the same that we looked 10, 15, 20 years ago. Some of us didn't even exist. That's why there's an advantage to being ugly your whole life. Because it prepares you for the ugliness you're going to have to deal with once you're elderly. I say that to say this. There's a lot of beautiful individuals in here. 20 or 30 years from now, you're going to be really depressed. You're cute, handsome man, you're going to be depressed. You're definitely going to be depressed, you know what I'm saying? Your fine ass going to be depressed. Who else? You smooth, brother. You definitely going to be depressed. You're going to be okay, man. You ain't going to need no type of therapy or nothing like that. You hear these? I'm just kidding. You're cute, you're soft, you're fluffy, and you're cuddly. Oh, man. But I'm going through it like my girlfriend broke up with me. Girlfriend broke up. I couldn't keep up with her, man. She's 29 and I'm 43. I just don't have the same drive that I once had, man. When I was young and strapping like yourself, you should be in like in a vampire movie or something like that. Why are you wasting your time? This is True Blood. You could be in You on Netflix or something. You're too handsome. You could be one of Jeffrey Dahmer's friends or something like that. That got away. You know what I mean? He's one of Jeffrey before he started messing with black guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. But no, like I said, when I was young like you, my drive was like the push-start engine on a 2022 Porsche, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. I'm beating the cops, I'm breaking the speed limit, I'm risking life and limb. It was wonderful. Now, at 43 years old, my drive is like the crank start engine on a 1920s Model T box Ford car, 0 to 60, never. Waking me up is like this. Turn the radio. I gotta start this thing up again, man. This is ridiculous. He's in the army now. Yeah, the army. He's the boogie woogie bugle bird from Company B.
All right.
That's my motivational soundtrack, man. But yeah, I just had my doctor's appointment, my yearly, and from June to now, I gained 28 pounds. 28 pounds, because I got a girlfriend. You know what they do? You get a girlfriend, they want to feed you, so you can get so big, so you can't chase after anybody else. but there's an advantage to being a bigger guy, because I feel like the bigger I am, I can do more impersonations of famous, big people. Like the rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. Some of you know, some of you don't, but this is Notorious B.I.G. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper in every deed. I put the limousine. You can't do that impression unless you weigh 250 or better. Y'all know Marlon Brando from The Godfather, right? This is Marlon Brando from The Godfather giving you some advice. I'd like to make you an offer. You can't refuse. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, pickles, cheese, lettuce, and tomato. Little sesame seed bun. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Can't do that impersonation unless you weigh 250 or better. Or you guys know the comedian Lavelle Crawford? Does Lavelle Crawford ring a bell to any of you guys? Did any of you watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? He's Hugh Babineau, the pickpocket, the bigger guy. But anyway, he had a gastric bypass. Even if you don't know who he is, this impersonation is hilarious. He recently had a gastric bypass, lost a lot of weight. And I overheard him having a conversation about how he had a hard time at the airports when he was so big. This is Lavelle Crawford. My God, I'm so glad I lost all this weight. Normally when you go to the airport, you gotta go about 2 or 3 hours in advance. But I was so big, I used to have to go 10 hours in advance. Then when you finally get to the gate, you gotta put your right foot in, right foot out, right foot in and shake it all about. When I finally get on the airplane, I gotta give myself a double, extra wide seat in the middle, not on the wing. If I sit on the wing, the plane gonna be spinning, the plane gonna be spinning, the plane gonna be spinning. You can't do that impersonation unless you weigh. Yes, we're paying attention and we are studious. We are paying attention and we are very studious. I appreciate you guys. I'm getting older, man. I'm definitely getting older. I'm 43 years old. Clap it up for me. I said it before, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Black people, we don't live that long, man. You lucky, brother, man. We don't, especially black males. Between diabetes, police brutality, and child support, we are an endangered species. And as you get older, your priorities start to change. When I was young, I couldn't wait to go to the club. Now that I'm older, I can't wait to go to bed, man. Happy hour was bedtime for me, man. You get strange injuries too when you get older. I had a dream. I hit the game-winning shot. Doncic. Then I woke up with a torn ACL. I'm not taking bubble baths. I'm taking ice baths. Using Bengay like it's lotion. Going on my day smelling like a hospital bed. Hospitally fresh. But I realized I was getting old when I realized I really do enjoy the taste of a pastrami Reuben. For those that don't know, that's an old school sandwich with old school ingredients, young lady. It comes with Swiss cheese, Thousand Island, sauerkraut. That's convalescent cuisine. I have it every Thursday at 4 p.m. with tapioca pudding and a yoo-hoo while watching the Golden Girls. I think Blanche is beautiful, and if you could bring her back to life, I would make her my boom-boom. Because she got that boom, 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 boom. Thank you for being a friend. Help me out now. Travel around the road and y'all beautiful, y'all so your heart is true, you're a and a give it up for yourselves, man. Y'all sing a little something. How do young folks know about the Golden Girls? More seasoned individuals. This is messed up. You could have been a cast member. You right there with your little beautiful silver hair, man. Blanche was beautiful. She's the reason why I love older women. I'm not talking 10 years older. I'm talking AARP. Those old ladies, older ladies don't play no games, man. They iron your suit, read you a bedtime story, give you some oatmeal cookies after they gave you the cookies. You never had grandma's cookies until you had grandma's cookies. I want to date a lady so old, if I get her pregnant by accident, she will give birth to a college graduate. That baby go from maternity to fraternity immediately. Summa cum baby. Now, I meet a lot of these older ladies on Tinder, right? On these dating apps. Because at my age, most women I meet online brag about being 35, but I know for a fact that they're 50. Because no woman brags about being 35 unless they're 50. There you go. And this is my thing, ladies. When y'all start to get older, y'all get insecure, and You like to lie and try to throw men off and say that you're younger? No. It makes more sense to say that you're even older. Because if you're 40, I know you're not young, you're not 40, but when you become 40 and you say you're 55, they're going to be like, oh my God, look at your skin. It's so beautiful. You must be mixed. You from Egypt, black don't crack. Do you use cocoa butter? No, she's white. Do you use oil of Olay? Get way more likes on your Facebook pictures. But if you're 40 and you try to say you're 25, they're going to be like, yeah, right. I can tell by the wrinkles on your hands. The turkey neck is a dead giveaway. Because this one chick I met on Tinder, she had a turkey neck. She tried to lie about her age. I told her a couple of jokes, and I made her laugh. And she was like, oh. I was like, this woman just gobbled? Thanksgiving was like last week. I got a great cranberry sauce at the first date. Gravy scented cologne. Ladies, if you're getting older, the cheapest plastic surgery in the world. Uh-oh. What happened? Did it die? Hey, whatever. The cheapest plastic surgery in the world until you get that turned on is to say you're even older. If you're 50, say you're 75. If you're 75, say you're 95. And if you're 95, just say you dead, man. Like, Dad, baby, you look good. How old are you? I'm dead. You're the most beautiful corpse I've ever seen in my life. I met her at the graveyard. I was really digging her. You ran out of minutes. You know, she got a Boost mobile speaker. You know what I mean? You can't be having a Cricket wireless speaker. No, I can keep going though until they get it fired back up, man. I love doing shows in different places, but even though I'm a big guy, you know, I'm soft, I'm tenderhearted. I don't like confrontation, and I'm always concerned about the thugs that are going to be at the venue. And I heard it was a lot of thugs in Enfield. It's a lot of thugs right here in this room too. But you thugs look weird. You thugs look strange. Y'all the type of thugs that are like steal my identity, but then improve my credit. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with good credit, but you can't go from 500 credit to 800 in one day. It's gonna raise some red flags. I'm gonna get thrown in prison. Prison is not a good look for me. Because in the streets, I know you thought this, I look like George Foreman. That's messed up that y'all laughed at me. I'm very ashamed. But in prison, I look like Amber Rose. Now for those that don't know, that's one of Kanye West's ex-girlfriends. She's an Instagram model. She got a bald head, big booty, light skin, just like me. In prison, we're practically identical twins. You don't want to be Amber Rose's twin in prison. You will become the main course. That's like being beef patties around Jamaicans. That's like being spaghetti around Italians. That's like being cats around Asians. It's an Asian guy here. I'm sorry I had to do that. You know for a fact the meat texture on the Chinese food is different. You thought that was General Tso's chicken? That's General Tso's kitten, man. You eat it too fast when you burp, you go, and I know that's kind of racist, I understand that, but when I wrote this joke, there was no Asian people in the room. And it's okay to make fun of people if they're not in the room. I learned that from white people. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm gonna take a risk, right? Test 1, 2, yeah, we're good. No, take the reverb off all the way down. No. Turn up. 1, 2. We good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. What I was gonna say was, now stay with me. I think sometimes racism is a little therapeutic. I think it's necessary. Stay with me now. And I don't mean disenfranchising people or enslaving anybody or anything like that. No, but if you had like a hard day at work, somebody was a jerk to you or they cut you off in traffic, and you want to like let out some like kind of epithets to get some steam off, you know what I mean? It's kind of like poop. It builds up in your body, racism builds up in your body, and you let it out. But you let it out at home. You say the N-word at home, you take a poop at home, man. You definitely use the N-word. I can tell you use the N-word when you listen to rap songs. This guy uses the N-word so much, it sounds like the music at the beginning of Pulp Fiction. And I will rain down with fire, anger, and fury, and you will know my name is the Lord. when I bring my vengeance upon thee. And that's what his heading says on every dating profile. You know, that's what he's such a ladies' man. Let me see if I can get a little more. No, you know what? It's, you know, it's 1, 2. There we go. That's the one. All right. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Clap it up if you love your mother, whether she's here or whether she's in a better place. Clap it up if you love your mom. Mom had me young. I like my mother. I ain't clapping. Put my hands behind my back. But my mother had me very young. My mother had me at 16 years of age. She had me at 16, you know. And, you know, it was a struggle growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, but regardless, she always tried to give us like the latest things, though. You know, the latest toys, the latest fashions, the latest video games, real late. Way after they came out, man. I didn't get a Super Nintendo until the PlayStation 5 came out. I didn't get my first pair of Jordans until the Yeezys came out. I didn't get my first cell phone until Tyler Perry came out. The closet. So that means I don't have a cell phone because he still. Yes. That's why I did this joke like in a black room with some old black folks, and there was this old lady. She looked like Weezy Jefferson, right? And she had like on a Diana Ross outfit, and she was in a mechanical wheelchair. And when I said that Tyler Perry joke, she said, "Don't be talking about my Tyler Perry." I'm gonna roll on you. What you saying? Let me back up. She hydraulic. What you saying? I'm on your lips. Can't talk about Tyler Perry, man. But as you can tell, I mean, I'm very musical. I have a musical background. On my father's side, I am legit related to Al Green. Y'all know who Al Green is? Since we've been together, loving you forever. Well, that's on my father's side. And on my mother's side, my mother can sing. My grandmother, rest in peace, she can sing. And she was born in the 40s. So in the 50s, Barry Gordy used to send like a lot of A&Rs from Detroit to Florida. That's where we're from, to the churches. Because they loved my grandmother's voice. They were scouting her. And they wanted to start her dream in Detroit. But, you know, black folks, 50s, kind of backwards. They crushed her dreams like, you ain't gonna take my baby. You're not gonna corrupt my baby. And so, you know, they left her in Florida, crushed her dreams, and she didn't get corrupted by Detroit. But my grandmother still had 7 kids by 5 different baby fathers. My grandfather could have been Marvin Gaye, man. This is what's going. And the thing is, eventually, like in the 70s, she wound up moving to Connecticut. Because if you know anything about that during that time, a lot of people in the South migrated up north because there were job opportunities, a lot of tobacco fields all over Connecticut. So she left 4 children in the hot Florida to pick tobacco in cold Connecticut, man. My grandmother was the opposite of Harriet Tubman, man. You're supposed to free the slaves, not become one. This is messed up, man. And then had 3 more children up north. And those children didn't meet the other sets of kids until they was in their teenage years. And I was like, I realized something. My grandmother, I think she was really a Jamaican man. Because only Jamaican men have families in 2 different states that don't meet each other until they're teenagers. I could never tell these jokes about my family. I could never tell these jokes about my family. I'll give this time. As far as I know, I don't have any children. It happens, man. I didn't meet my dad until I was 31 old, you know? You know what he gave me? $200 and a handshake. And I haven't heard from him since, man. Cheapest child support ever, man. And my mother, she always pressures me. Like, Mo, when you gonna make me some kids? Mo, when you gonna make some grandkids? I said, when you let me have company past 2 a.m. Yes, I live with my mother. I gotta pay for rent and hotels. My mom's is a hater. And here's the thing, you know, as folks get older, they get more religious. And so once my mother turned 60, she found Christ, right? So she's religious. She's no longer fornicating. She's no longer doing funny business in the house. So she's not doing funny business. Nobody's allowed to do funny business. And this is messed up because my mother does not even go to church. My mother sips wine while watching YouTube sermons. You know what I'm saying? My mother be sipping wine while watching Joel Osteen. And I'm like, Dad, Mom, why is you sipping wine while you watching church? She's like, this is the Passover. This is directly from the Bible. This is the scriptures. This is the blood of Christ. I said, Mom, I understand that, but you're drinking Pinot Grigio. I know they taught you that his skin was white, but his blood definitely was not. My mother's ministry is preventing me from getting women. That is her ministry. Preventing me from getting women. She could be at the pearly gates right now, and the Lord will say, Mrs. Scott, what did you do to deserve to get to the kingdom of heaven? I blocked my son from getting over 1,000 thoughts. Now let me through the pearly gates, boo-boo. Yes, you are a fine hater. Come on in. Oh, my goodness, my mom, man. I love it, man. All right. We happy with Biden?
No.
You know what? I don't understand how this guy got the most votes of a president ever. I perform all over the country, whether it's blue states, red state, and I get the same reaction every single time. It's something to do. But anyway, you know what I mean? One of the main reasons why he's there, the black vote matter. You know, he's talking about reparations. Reparations. You don't vote for me. You ain't black. We went out and we voted for him. Because he promised a reparations. But reparations is like constipation. That crap ain't happening, man. And if it do happen, Caucasians kind of crap. All y'all gonna do is just make things cost way more money. Gas gonna go up to $20,000 per gallon. Hamburgers gonna go up to $20,000 per burger. Taking a woman on a date gonna go up to the high price of $45. I can't pay that extra $5. We need Trump back in the office. It was fun. And they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman's portrait on the money, and I on a $20 bill. And I think that is a good thing that we're doing that because we helped build this country, and we needed recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like from our black historical figures. But the one question I have about that picture, and I know a lot of you are thinking this, but you're afraid to say it, but I'll ask you. Is that the best picture that they have of her, man? Her face looked real angry, you know what I'm saying? She didn't ever have happy moments. She freed so many slaves. Like, I freed the slaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes have a nice picture of freeing the slaves, man. And plus, when I look at the 20, it looks like it's judging me for things that I shouldn't be buying. You're gonna buy that Hennessy. You know you got high blood pressure. You're gonna buy that ice cream cake. You know you're type 2 diabetic. I can't see myself using that Tubman 20 at a gentleman's club. A black gentleman's club. A black gentleman's club with big booty black gentleman dancers, man. It's like once I stuff it down her G-string, it's almost like I put a Nana next to Nana. And I can't see myself using Tubman 20 at a gas station in Mississippi. I get my Dentine Ice, I get my Red Bull. The clerk look at the 20, look at me, look at the 20, look at me. We don't accept these kind around here, boy. That there is counterfeit. Don't you mean counterfeit? No, counterfeit. Y'all accept cracker currency around these parts. Oh my goodness, Jason, I took a risk with that one. I took a risk with that one. Another thing I heard, you know the poet Maya Angelou? Y'all might know Maya Angelou, right? They put her portrait on the back of the quarter, 25-cent piece, right? And you know, on the front of it is George Washington. And I was doing some research on her, and before she really blew up as a poet, before she got famous, she was a lady of an evening. You know, she had to do what she had to do to get what she needed to be. You understand what I'm saying? Then I thought about it. I was like, Caucasians is kind of crafty. Because even at her death, there's still a white guy that's on top of her. That's messed up, man. Yeah, I took a risk with that one too. It worked. It worked, man. Oh, man. RuPaul was not the first or the only really tall, famous gay guy during the 90s. There was another one. Well, you didn't exist. You were still like in Saturn somewhere as another creature. You know, like I believe in reincarnation. No, I'm joking. There was another one. There was another tall, famous one, but a lot of you missed it. But I'm gonna catch you up as to who it was. Remember the singer? Well, he's still alive. Montel Jordan. Remember? This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I'm feeling alright. The party said that's not what made him gay, though. That is not, no, that's not what made him gay. Listen, I've been singing for 40 years of my life. And one thing that I've learned is in order to get some of the notes out, you gotta be a little bit wispy, you know, a little soft and delicate. Like there was a band in the 80s called Ready for the World. They had a song, let me love you down, you know what I'm saying? Down, you know what I'm saying? Down. Like, I couldn't get the note out, down. That's my wrist wasn't pointing out, my toes was pointing down. And they had another song, oh Sheila, let me love you till the, you know what I'm saying? Love you till the morning, you know, I couldn't get the notes out unless I went, till the morning comes. That's not what made him gay. The part that made him gay was when he was rapping. Because he was like, once upon a time in 94, Montel made no money and life sure was slow. And all they said was 6'8", he stood. And people thought the music that he made was good. I said, this dude has a husband, because ain't nowhere in hell you rapping while you wagging your finger like that. Impossible. I'll be thinking, what if that's a joke that takes me to the next level? What if that's a joke that gets me famous? And I'm like the Barclays, I'm crushing it. But Montel Jordan is sitting front and center with his arms folded. And he confronts me backstage. This dude is 6'8". He will kick my ass. He was talking all that stuff. I'm looking over you like I'm looking over the balcony. Do you know how embarrassing it would be to get beat up by a dude with a pink microphone and some bedazzled boots? And after he finished beating me up, he just walk off. Tra la 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 la. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Any of y'all friends, y'all remember TGI Fridays, like the sitcoms that used to come on Fridays or whatever? Like Family Matters and Full House and all that. Did you know it's like the same guy that's singing all the theme songs today? Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the pig. His name was Jesse Frederick. He had the Fridays on lock. He's also singing step by step, day by day. And he used to sing it's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. His voice sounded like he swallowed razor blades and washed it down with rubbing alcohol. Coolest voice ever. But I learned something. Jesse Frederick also sang for a sitcom in the early 80s, a show called Perfect Strangers. You remember Perfect Strangers? Standing tall on the wings of my dreams, rising far. So how do we go from standing tall to whatever happened to the milkman, the pig? Now, I was doing some research, and like I said, Perfect Strangers come out in about 84. Full House came out in 86. And I just realized in 1985, crack hit the streets. Crack hit the streets. Jesse Frederick had to get a taste. And he had the second coolest voice of all time. The first coolest voice was a guy from the 70s. What would you do if I sang out of tune, Joe Cocker? And if you know anything about the 70s, heroin hit the streets. Oh my goodness, man. What else? Oh yeah. It was a lot of crazy things that happened in the pandemic. I see none of us got masks and nothing like that, so we just like, you know what, this is the survival of the fittest. We here, you know what I mean? But a lot of crazy things happened during the pandemic. You probably was too young to remember. You just barely, you're like 10, if that, right? Yeah, I got it. But first off, my 49ers lost the Super Bowl. Kobe Bryant passed away. They discovered aliens. It was killer bees, George Floyd. But the main thing that sticks out in my head, because it literally happened a week before the pandemic started, a stripper fell 30 feet from the pole, man. 30 feet. Y'all remember that, right? Yeah. Because she was trying to do her special move to get all the money, you know? But she got overzealous. So what happened was she ascends to the top of the pole, she miscalculates. She plummets for like 2 seconds, poof, wiped out. We think she's done. Then all of a sudden, from a miracle, she just hops up on a handstand, she twerks, drops down to a split, poof, collects all the money, realizes that her teeth was messed up, right? So she goes home, she creates a GoFundMe, boom, generates $30,000, and then retires from stripping off of 30 G's. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way she had a drug habit because ain't no stripper retiring off of 30K. And also, this woman was special. She was like a futuristic organism because only an advanced machine could withstand that much damage, yet still complete its mission. So I go through that entire scenario from the robot's point of view, and this is how it went down. Time to do my special move to get all the money. Ascend to the top of the pole. Ascend to the top of the pole. Oh crap! Miscalculating, plummeting, impact in 2 seconds. All auxiliary power. Handstand, twerk, back down to a split. Collect all the money. Collect all the money. Realize my teeth are messed up. Go home. Create a GoFundMe. Generate $30,000. It's a good thing I don't have a drug habit. I am a futuristic being that can withstand an inordinate amount of damage, yet still complete my mission. I am the Twerkinator. You guys enjoying me so far?
Yeah.
Oh man. Got a few more. Oh yeah, I like this one. Another thing that happened in 2020 during the vice president debates. I remember when that fly like landed on Mike Pence's head. And he didn't even notice it. You know, he was just still talking. He was like a white African. Like the fly was just that's messed up. The fly was on it. He didn't notice it. And like this Indian chick, like some female comedian, she made a joke. She's like, I guess that is his one black friend. And that's funny. I think it's funny, but some of our people, like, we took offense to it. Like, what you trying to say? You trying to compare us to flies? I was like, no, it's just a joke. I love my people. I love my black people. But sometimes we get a little bit too sensitive, you know? But I'm nobody. I say that, and I'm a bald-headed, pot-bellied nobody, so nobody listens to me. So sometimes you got to transform into a different character so people could appreciate it. So I was imagining, like, how would Cat Williams react to that situation? You know, what would he say about that? Nowhere in the history of Negrodom has a black person ever been referred to as fly as a diss. If anything, we call ourselves fly because our hair is done and our clothes are pristine. If you can show me one instance of a black person being called fly, I will give you $10,000. I'll wait. I can see like a spider monkey kind of like escaped into the audience and like landed on his shoulder. And she said, that's his black friend. I can understand like people being upset, but it's just... Another thing, what else, man? My black people, this ain't too bad, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna coon too much, but my black friends, like, we are obsessed with pit bulls. It's like you're not officially a black person unless you got this savage beast in your yard. There are over 240 different species of dogs. For once, I would like to see a black person walking down the street with a German Shepherd so that I will know who the neighborhood snitch is. Those dogs are the feds. Oh my goodness gracious, man. I'm gonna round out with this. I'm gonna end with this, man. Like I said, nobody has masks on, so it feels like COVID is pretty much over, right? But like when it was going down, wasn't it like a lot of different? They kept changing the rules like every week, right? Didn't they? It's like first you don't need a mask, then you do need a mask, then you need double masks, then you need a shot. Booster shot, shots forever, the shots protect you, they don't protect. It's just so many different things to keep up with, right? So what I did was, I came up with a song. The best way to memorize something is to come up with a song. And after I'm done with this song, you will know exactly what to do should COVID ever happen again. But you just have to, just pay attention to what I'm saying. This is an early Christmas gift from myself to you all. It is it sounds like the 12 days of Christmas. But I call this the 12 days of COVID. Here it goes. On the first day of COVID, Fauci told me, 6 feet, keep your hands clean. On the second day of COVID, Fauci told me, 2 weeks flatten curve and 6 feet, keep your hands clean. On the third day of COVID, Fauci told me, stay your behind home, 2 weeks flatten curve and 6 feet, keep your your hands clean. Where we at? 4? Okay. On the 4th day of COVID, Fauci told me, double COVID max, stay behind home 2 weeks, flat and curved, and 6 feet, keep your hands clean. On the 5th day of COVID, Fauci told me, Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max, stay at home 2 weeks, flat and curved, and 6 feet, keep your hands clean. 6? No, stop lying to me, man. Don't lie to me, Wilford Brimley without the beard. On the 6th day of COVID, Fauci told me, 2 Moderna jabs, Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max, stay at home 2 weeks, flat and curved, and 6 feet, keep your hands clean. Where we at, Santa?
7.
He doesn't know. He's thinking about the North Pole right now, man. You know what I'm saying? He got all these toys and stuff. Mrs. Claus do all the work. He just drives. She be the one. She make cookies. She keep his belly fat. On the 7th day of COVID, Fauci told me, 1 Johnson & Johnson, 2 Moderna jabs, Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max, stay your butt at home 2 weeks, flat and curved, and 6 feet, keep your hands clean. Hey, thank you. On the 8th day of COVID, Fauci told me, booster injections, 1 Johnson & Johnson, 2 Moderna jabs, Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max, stay your butt at home 2 weeks, flat and curved, and 6 feet, keep your hands clean.
9.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dean MacArthur. Thank you. On the 9th day of COVID, Fauci told me, weekly shots forever, booster injections, 1 Johnson & Johnson, 2 Moderna jabs, Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max, stay your butt at home 2 weeks, flat and curved,